Hello, 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 good morning. I want to select a topic distance and displacement for this test. So, the topic is distance and displacement. Basically, this topic is belongs to the chapter kinematics, and I will explain the topic what is distance and displacement. Okay, so first of all, we have to read the distance. Okay, so what is this? What is distance? Distance is nothing but actual path length. Actual path length. Okay, what is this? Actual path length means suppose that you have a home. Okay, suppose A point is at home. Okay, and your school is at point B. Right? A school is at point B. You have to go from point A to B. So the actual path length, that is, if you measure this length, then you will get the distance. You will get the distance. Okay, from point A to B, you will get the distance if you measure the actual path length. Okay, so what is this? This is a scalar quantity. This is a scalar quantity. Always remember, distance is a scalar quantity. It has only magnitude. It has no direction. Okay, and the unit is meter. Okay, what is the unit of the distance? Unit means how we measure the distance. Okay, so we measure the distance in meter, like 10 meter, 20 meter, 50 meter. Okay, meter is the SI unit of distance, and this is a scalar quantity. It has only magnitude. It has no direction. Actually, distance is the actual path length. Okay, now we will see what is called displacement. Right, what is called this displacement? So if you want to find the displacement, right, displacement, then you have to draw the straight line from point A to point B. Let's say A is initial point, because you have to start the motion from point A. So it is point A is initial point and point B is final point. That is final position. Also we can call it as final position. Okay, so if we assume point B is final position, that is your school, and point A is your home, that is initial position, then when we draw a straight line, between point A to point B, okay, this would be the straight line. Okay, so you will get the displacement. Okay, you will get the displacement. So what is this? What is this represent? That it represent that the displacement is final position minus initial position. Let's suppose you have a two position at the two different time, point A and point B. B is the final position, A is the initial position. Then you have to draw a straight line between point A and B. You will get the displacement. Okay, this is not the actual path. This is displacement. It is hypothetical that you will not actually go from point A to B in a straight line in green color. You will have to choose the path, this yellow line. Okay, and we have to draw point A to point B, and point A to point B, the shortest distance is displacement, and displacement is the vector quantity. Always remember, because it has both magnitude and direction. Okay, what is this direction? The direction is point A to B. We have to draw the arrow from point A to B. This is the direction. Okay, and the unit is same as the distance, like meter. What is the SI unit of this displacement? This is meter. Okay, so this is distance and displacement. Right, now we have taking for example, like for example, let's suppose this is point A, and in positive x-axis, that this is straight line, you have to go from point B. Okay, from point A to point B, and then after you take u-turn and you reach the point C. Okay, then First, you go from point A to B and then point B to point C. Let's say this is the initial position A, that coordinate 0, 0. Actual में I have take this x-axis and y-axis, okay? And point B is 10, 0. That is 10 meter. A point is 10 meter behind the B point. Distance between point A and point B is 10 meter, okay? And the C coordinate is 4, 4, 0, right? It means what is the distance between these 2 point A and C? If you see from point A to point C, the distance is become 10 minus 4, that is 6 meter. Okay. So what is the distance? If I say that what is the distance between point A and point C? Okay, point A and point C. Distance between point A and C, the distance. What is the distance traveled from point A to B? Okay, actually this is from point A to B. Okay, distance between from point A to B, from A to C, sorry, A to C, A to C. So first it goes from A to B. So the distance D is representation of distance. Actually, we have to represent the distance from the capital letter D. Okay. So from point A to B, it will be 10 meter plus point B to C, it will be 4 meter. That is total distance is 14 meter. But what is the displacement? What is the displacement? In this for displacement, we have to see the formula. What is displacement? Final position minus initial position. This is distance between final and initial position. So it represented by S. Okay, the displacement is represented by capital letter S always. So S is equal to final position minus initial position. Final position is 4.4, 0, and the initial position is 0, 0. Right? Actually, this is 6. This is 6. This is not 4. This is 6. So it will be 10 plus 6. Okay, 10 plus 4. Yeah, it will be correct. It will be correct. Okay, this point is 6, 0, so that its distance between A and C is 6 meter. Okay, so what is displacement? Displacement is 6 meter. Final and initial position. That is finally 6 minus initially 0. So this is 6 meter. So you can see here, first point, initial point is A 0, 0, and final point is C 6, 0, but there is a point B 10, 0. So particle is going from A to B through this straight line and U-turn, take U-turn and go from point B to C. So the distance will be 14 and the displacement will be 6. So you can see here the distance and displacement is not equal for the same journey. So it should be equal and it should not be equal. Okay. So always remember that distance is always greater than equal to displacement. This is the relation, that magnitude of displacement, because displacement is a vector quantity. Okay. So always distance is greater than or equal to displacement. Distance is greater than displacement. Here we have see that. Okay. But in which case distance is equal to displacement? In that case, the particle not take U-turn and only go on the straight line. So the distance and displacement will be equal. I hope you will understand the topic distance and displacement. Thank you.